Backstage at the NRA ILA's Leadership Forum, and we are here with Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. Senator, it's nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
What did you talk about, and what is your position on the Second Amendment? What's the strength of the Second Amendment in Florida and in America?
Well, I mean, first of all, what I talked about was how important the Second Amendment is to the American dream. I mean, one of the things that we have a right to do in this country is to provide a safe and secure environment for our families, and the Second Amendment helps guarantee that for millions of Americans. As far as where the Second Amendment stands today, I think it's under assault by this administration, by popular culture, by the media, and by many in entertainment. They stigmatize gun owners, they stigmatize guns, and I think we need to work hard to push back against that with the truth.
You talk about the American dream, a huge discussion right now about the Hispanic population. Of course, it's growing in this country. It's a much bigger voting bloc, and there's always the discussion, how do you get more Hispanics into the Republican fold and to vote Republican instead of Democrat? What is the best way to approach Republicans into joining Republicans?
Well, I think we have to have a message that appeals to all Americans, including Americans of Hispanic descent. And the number one overriding issue in Hispanic households across America is, how can we leave our children better off than ourselves? And our fundamental argument, of course, is that free enterprise is a better way of doing that than big government and these sorts of things that we're seeing today. But fundamental to that, of course, is the Second Amendment, because one of the things that we know is that when you provide children a strong, stable, and safe home, they're able to prosper and move forward. And again, for many Americans, the ability to provide a safe home for their family begins with the right to protect them by bearing arms.
What is your background with guns and the Second Amendment personally?
Well, I actually am a gun owner. I own a Taurus 357 myself. We keep it at home, and we do it again for personal protection with our families. I'm a concealed weapons permit holder in Florida. And as I said, that's a fundamental constitutional right we have as Americans. It's unique to our country, and it's one of the ones I hope we'll forever keep.
You right now are in a body that is just gridlocked with this, I would just say, dysfunction. I think you would agree with that. A lot of the opinion polls about the Congress in general are low, and you see Harry Reid, and I can imagine having the battles with Harry Reid in the Senate every day. What should the average viewer, listener to this show right now know about what you are trying to do in the Senate and what you're trying to do to combat what Harry Reid is getting in the way of a lot of things? Just Keystone Pipeline, just start with that.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, their ideas are so bad that we spent most of our time playing defense, trying to keep bad things from happening. Our hope is that we'll have a majority of Republicans that could actually start making some good things happen. It'll be difficult to do as long as Barack Obama's president, but as I said here earlier today, in 32 months we'll have someone else there, and then hopefully the opportunity to move forward on some of these things that help restore our country to take full advantage of the opportunities of this new century we're now in.
Last question. People who are frustrated with the state of the country, state of the party, state of whatever, when people reach out to, say, contact your senator, I mean, what do you do? I know you go on listening tours, and you go around the state, but when people contact you, how do you respond? How do you listen? What's the best way to get to men and women like you?
Well, first of all, every week I get a report on the calls that have come into our office, on the emails, what are the topics. I mean, I actually get a running tally on what people are calling in about, what they're expressing opinions about, and it gives us a real good indication of what's on their minds and what people are thinking. And that's a part of the matrix in terms of, you want to make sure that we are focused on the things that our people are focused on, that we are worrying about the things that they're worried about. Beyond that, I would say that we do a lot of events. We're constantly out there. I mean, I go back to Florida every Thursday or Friday. I go grocery shopping. I'm out in the community with our family. And from that, you gather a lot of important information. It's important never to lose touch of where you came from, because if you do, you end up not knowing where you're going.
You say you go grocery shopping. In your wallet right now, is there a Publix card?
I don't know if there is a Publix card, but maybe they should have one. It'll be easier to shop. Yeah.
Senator, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate your time here on NRA News.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.